I think it is more interesting to see you. Thanks, Roman. And Vivian, is it possible to switch your camera on?
Unfortunately, no. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, okay, it's okay. Don't worry. It is not mandatory. So welcome everybody. And in the beginning of this event, please let me introduce myself and let me introduce my colleague Alexei, who will help me today and who will communicate with you together with me. So my name is Lilia. I'm a chief mentor for the Mentorpiece software testing school, and my experiences in QE is about 21 years. And I would like you to share your thoughts, share your ideas, share your life goals with me, and I think we together will find the most appropriate way for you in IT or in software testing and so on. And together with me is Alexei. Alexei, please introduce yourself briefly.
Hello, do you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. My name is Alexei. I am software quality engineer for more than 20 years already. Mostly it's test automation, and currently I'm in Grid Dynamics company. It's an American company. And my position is head of quality assurance here. So I'm first time participate in this meeting, this venue. So it's interesting for me. Okay, Lilian.
Thank you, Alexei. So let me just briefly explain what will we do here today. We have two participants, Roman and Vivian, and as far as I understood, both of you want to know what way in software testing is most appropriate for you. Firstly, I would like to hear from you, what do you do right now? And why did you decide to change your way to go to the IT to become a software tester? Please, we could start from Roman or Vivian. Doesn't matter. Who will be the first, folks?
Well, if it's okay, I can start, or ladies first. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Vivian, what do you think? Who will be the first?
I think Roman can start first.
Okay, Roman, please.
Okay, my name is Roman Molodov, and I'm currently unemployed. The last place of work, I'm 38, by the way, if it matters. The last place of work is the chief procurement officer in the gold mining company. So basically, I had the head of procurement department, and the company changed its owners, and I've got pretty much fed up with this profession, into which I got by accident, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's a long story. My education is international relations, and I've worked as partly HR, partly translator. It was long ago, and since then my English got pretty rusty. I've forgot many things, and I forgot words, and I forgot grammar. So now it is like B2 or something like that. Used to be C1, C2 level. And well, after quitting the last job, it was like 1.5 years ago. I still didn't know what would I like to do next in my life. I don't have any clear preferences in the professions. But for the whole duration of my life, I've been somewhat connected to computers. So I can pretty much assemble my hardware myself. I'm a passionate gamer, computer games, and I've participated in some beta testing of computer games. And nowadays, beta testing can last up to 3 years in this industry. And it cannot be called testing, to be honest. It's just to cover their backs. Because for everything that bad happens, they can say, well, what do you expect? It's just a beta test. And so now my funds are running low, and I basically need to find a job that is suitable to me. So I began to research what is in the IT field I can be engaged in. After long ago, after graduating from the school, I wanted to go to some technological university to study programming, but a huge but. I'm a strict humanitarian. I mean, sciences like algebra, geometry, physics are absolutely not for me. I'm extremely bad at them. As the heritage for the Soviet educational system in the university, you study all that things that are strictly unrelated to the programming. But in order to pass the sessions, you need to be good at mathematics and all that things. And I've decided that I'm not smart enough and I'm not good enough at that to study and to enter that university and to finish it perfectly. So I went to the international relations and finished it with the red diploma. So this time I think, well, for the programming, it is good, but it takes a very long time to learn. I think about a year to be starting Java or Python or something like that, to be any competent in it. And I don't have that time. I have money for about 5 months of living, and I need to learn some starting profession during this time. And manual QA is a good start. What I think. With a forward forecast to switch to QA automation later on. So that's my plan, and I followed it. And about a month and a half ago, I began studying manual QA, testing theory, networks, web services, API testing, some basic SQL, and all that manual QA starting stuff, some JMeter, and yeah. So what I'm planning is to try to find a job in the manual QA, and while doing the manual QA job, study some programming language, and later on switch to automation QA. Well, that's what I think. Because other professions, for example, design, I don't know. I'm not creative enough. Analytics, not interested, to be honest. And I like, I'm a achiever. I like to make something close to perfect, and I generally hate bugs in the software. So basically making the product better, I think, is a very good idea. and I think it suits me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also I like to make the lives of programmers miserable. It's a joke, of course. By finding all the bugs in their code. Sorry for that joke.
Okay. So thank you very much, Roman, for your interesting story. It was really exciting.
I have a question.
Yeah. Yes, Alexei?
Okay, so Roman, are you looking for remote work or to work from some office in your city? Or,
Good day, Alexei. I'm a free person. I'm not bound to anything. I'm ready to relocate if needed, basically anywhere. Currently, I live, and from my birth, I live in Kazakhstan. And if needed, I can move to any country that will accept me.
I see. Thank you. Lily?
Okay, Roman. To be honest, I see some difference between your statement that you are a humanitarian and your intention to be a programmer, because you want to enter the manual QA and then you want to be an automation QA, but the automation QA is practically a programmer. So you can ask Alexei, for example, because he's a very good Java programmer, despite on the fact that his position is a QA. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, that was basically one of my huge questions.
Yeah.
Does QA automation need such deep knowledge of programming as a dedicated programmers? Yeah, and I always wanted to ask this question. Alexei, please explain if possible.
It depends. If you would like to be a good test automation engineer, the answer is yes. Of course, it requires the same level of knowledge, and also you should speak with programmers on the same language. So you should understand their issues. You should speak in terms of kind of interfaces, methods, patterns, and so on. So yeah, but if you just would like to do some simple tests, it's probably you should have just shallow knowledge of the language, the simple work with some collections and something like that. It's not especially in Java, it's any language, any programming language. So it's possible, but it depends on your wishes. You said that you perfectionist, so probably in that case you have to obtain a deeper knowledge of programming language, of course.
Oh, I don't know why the camera is off. Sorry for that.
It is back. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Alexei. So yeah, okay. Just like anywhere, I can start with some basic knowledge and then just deepen it. Well, I'm okay with that, but I think it will take much time for me. But I still think I'm still interested in automation ultimately.
Mm-hmm. But what is your goal? What is the most interesting thing in automation? What do you think? Because I still don't quite understand your.
What I understand, manual QA has many routine, absolutely routine tasks. After you write your test cases, you begin just repeating the test cycles, the regression, for example, which is the first thing to automate, to be honest, I think.
Actually, test automation is has the same routine. It's maybe not the same routine, but different routine. It's still a lot of And I would say that manual QA is mostly about some understanding how it works from business point of view, and the automation quality assurance is more understanding how to work from technical point of view.
Oh, okay. And oh, sorry, Lydia,
yeah.
to interrupt.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add something to Alexei's speech. If we are talking about the routine, yes, I absolutely agree with Alexei. I have some experience, like 7 years or something, with test automation. And I can add that, yes, routine is for some tasks, both in manual and automation. But routine is different. And to be an automation tester is this doesn't mean that you will be some creative person who sits and writes code every day and nothing else, because you should, for example, update your tests, make them up to date every day, and you should sit and understand why that test suite is absolutely red. So all the tests are failed, despite on the fact that nothing changed in the application. And this is like a bit of boring work. So you will meet the routine everywhere. And if we are talking about the manual QA, it actually depends on your level in manual QA, because if your level is just pressing buttons from the user interface and you're not very familiar with test design, you only can create some simple test cases, or you only can use the test cases that was written by somebody else. Yes, your work is not very creative. But if you are a high level manual QA who can not only press buttons from the UI, but know everything about the architecture of the application, about how backend works, how database works, what is the integration of this application, your tasks will be hard enough and complicated enough, and you will not be boring. So to avoid that routine tasks, it is not mandatory to be the automation QA.
Okay, thank you, Lily. I understood, but let's approach it from the other angle. Why I'd like to be an automation tester is that if, for example, I'll get bored or something like that, I can switch from the automation to developing, to programming, because I already know some programming language, for example. And for manual testers, you grow into some like test lead and maybe product manager or something like that. You grow into communicating with people and with business more and more, and less with technical stuff and less with the testing itself. From what I understand. And I'm pretty, I can't say that I'm close person, but I try to avoid communication all day long, to be honest. So at the previous work, there was lots of communication. I got telephone calls every second minute, and I'm pretty fed up with that. So yeah, from this perspective, I think automation, to switch automation is better at a later stage, of course.
Can I say something?
Yes, Sandra, welcome. Let me introduce Sandra.
Okay.
She's here with us. Sandra, Sandra is a very, very experienced QE, and I think she better will tell something about her. Okay.
Oh, can you see?
So, Sandra, may you please switch your camera on?
Okay, I don't know how to do that. Like when I click the little white icon, it doesn't show me how to put my video on. So, okay, let's see if this works. Can you see me now? Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do that next time. So my name is Sandy Smith, and I live in Austin, Texas. I've been a QA for, well, I started out as a developer on mainframes doing COBOL, and then ended up doing QA for a software company that supports DB2 databases, which are on the mainframe. And then my last job was working for General Motors and working on a suite of apps that were on the mainframe and the servers mid-range and on the web and in the cloud. So when you're talking about that you're not a very creative person, when you're a QA, you have to be very creative. And I wanted to give you a realistic idea of what the job is, so that you can make a decision based on that. As a QA, you are interacting with the dev team a lot because they're trying to tell you exactly what is supposed to happen, and it doesn't happen, and you have to ask. So you're going to be communicating with a lot of people during the day. Also, you have to be creative because there's not just one way to do things. There are many different paths that you can take to the same result. And the more creative you can be and thinking outside the box and innovating, that's what employers like, and it also makes your job easier. And I know I've only worked in that GM model, but I know that there were very few people that did automation only. Most of the time you had to do the manual QA. You kind of owned the project. And so you did the manual QA and you wrote test cases, and then you did some automation development. And like you had mentioned that if you got bored with the automation that you could do other development. And it's likely that you're not going to be shared between a QA team doing automation and a development team doing application development. So those are just a few points that I wanted to make for you to think about. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Yeah, also I would like to a bit extend this because you should have a lot of fantasy, because you need to imagine how the program may not work, and it's a lot of different situations, how you can set up it, how you can configure it, what you can do with it to find some situation where it's work or misbehave or work incorrect. So yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely agree with Sandy and Alexei, because this is a very creative specialization, and you should have abstract mind to see it. How does it look like? How is it working? And how the pieces of the application are integrated between each other. And yes, even if you be the automated tester, you should switch between tasks. So, but I know why. Probably I know why. Are you thinking that manual work is so boring and like routine? Because some manual QEs on the current market, contemporary market, can only use some written test cases, and that's all. And they are doing the regression more and more times, and that's all the job. So maybe the job is not very creative, of course, but if you are talking about some like professional QE work for some big company on the world market, it is not about doing the regression every day. It is about many things.
Thank you very much, guys. Very good feedback, much appreciated. Lilia, maybe I worded it wrong. I don't think that all manual testing is boring. I think that the starting level, I mean, these junior testers are mostly doing this boring things. They don't write their own test cases. They mostly do the tests based on someone's test cases.
It's not. It depends on your proactivity, I would say.
Yeah, it depends on your proactivity. It depends on the company, because if you enter some project where they have a lot of testers and some process, probably yes, you will be doing this job during some time. But if we are talking about some small companies, for example, you could join some startup where nobody will do all the job, and where you will not have any test documentation, any customer requirements, and everybody will be on you to prepare the process, to prepare the test cases, to understand how to test all that stuff. And some startups opened for some newcomers, some new testers as well, because they just started to think about how to test it, what to test, and what the testing is for the hell. And they invited, in this situation, then they invite such people who can help them to cover everything with testing. So you can join such company, and you will not be boring at all.
Okay, thank you. That was useful and interesting.
And it's not even just the startups. Like when I worked at GM, like they had 3,000 employees and they have 250,000 employees worldwide. So it's a huge IT company, but the teams are small and they don't already have a repository of test cases. So, and also they're enhancing the code all the time. So you have to write the test cases before you can automate them. So you will most likely, no matter where you go, have the opportunity to start from the ground up of, okay, here's new code. How do we test it? How do we make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do, all the way through to automation? And there's so many other tasks that go along with it, you know, given your input whenever they're developing the code and how it should work. And I have never gotten bored as a QA, because there's always something more to learn. You never know it all. If you get used to the software that you have, they're going to update it and bring in something new. And so you've got to learn that. So it's always challenging when you're a QA.
Well, thank you, Sandra. That was awesome to hear, to be honest. That is always the way to grow up and way to educate yourself further. And there are always challenges. Thank you. It's interesting.
I have one question to you, Roman. You said that you're already on some quality assurance course, and you're studying different aspects. And I thought you said SQL or SQL. I don't know what's the right pronunciation. And how you feel working with SQL? Because SQL is programming language, actually. It's a bit different, but still.
Well, I'm self-learning, you know, just reading books and viewing some YouTube channel. I've actually bought on Udemy, if you know that educational platform, some course. it's in English, it's pretty interesting, but it's pretty shallow, to be honest. Only basics, but basics, sometimes not even basics, but for SQL, they only give you the basic commands like select all, some join, some sorting of these tables. And to be honest, I'm not deep enough in the SQL. From what I've learned already, I like API testing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lilia?
Okay, so I think we get the whole picture about Roman, and I hope that we told something interesting for you, and probably you will not think that your only way is through manual QE to automation QE, because manual QE could be interesting as well. And of course, it is better to know some programming language, but if you talk about yourself that you are not very good in math, very good in some exact science, maybe your choice could be manual QE, but you could see it. So you could start with it and then think about how to step further. So I don't know what advice can we give to you, because from my point of view, you will be able to do everything, to do manual QE, to do automation, because you are a motivated person. Firstly, because you can do a self-learning, and this is very good. And maybe you should start from reading or watching videos, maybe more technical videos like that, but not basics, but more deep in IT, in different aspects of QE. This is my opinion, because
just Lily, taking into account the time frame is 5 months, the manual QA looks much more preferable from my point of view, because it's quite hard to start test automation engineer in
yes,
5 months unless you are joining some internship program in some company where you can join the project during this period of time, where you have a personal mentor who will provide you all the knowledge and so on. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Of course, to start from automation, of course, you have to know some language.
Also,
and,
test automation is not only, I would say, automation is not only programming some robots which will press buttons and drive your mouse and clicks somewhere. It's automation of a lot of routine tasks, like reporting, like test data preparation, like environment configuration, and so on. A lot of such tasks in many companies still doing in a manual way. It's time consuming, it's error prone activities, and when someone, even it could be manual QA, start to automate some part of this process, it's always a benefit. It's a benefit for this engineer, because he or she gets some skills in automation. Also, it's benefit for the team and for the process, and also it's visibility for this engineer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Roman. So, did we give you some advice? Did you get what you wanted to get from us?
Yeah, thank you. I've got many like awesome insights, and there are lots of things to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, ultimately, at the end of this conversation, I would like to hear your honest opinion if I'm okay for the testing job, if it suits me at all. Because I'm pretty sure that I can do testing and I'm interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
But do I have the I forgot the word in English.
Perspectives.
Do I have the necessary qualities to fit for this job? Yeah.
I think yes, because from your speech, what can I get? That you like structures, you like to have goals. What I'm afraid of that you don't like to communicate, because this is about the communication. The work of QA is about the communication. And even if you want to grow up horizontally in technical way, you should communicate every day, because you should discuss your work with your team, with managers, with business, and so on. So if you want to find a job where you will sit in the corner and do something with computer, this is not about software testing, actually, because you should communicate, and you should communicate a lot every day. Maybe this is the only, maybe not a blocker, but the only thing that can be seem not very interesting for you, this communication. But from technical point of view, I think you could do it, because you told that you are a humanitarian person, but you can understand that all the technical stuff. And as far as I remember, you can understand even exact science in the university, yes, as far as I remember. So you could do it, but think about the communication thing.
Thank you, Lilia. Yeah, I'm okay with the communication. If it doesn't take the like 3/4 of the day. I mean, if endless talking, it is unbearable. If I need to communicate with different people for like, I don't know, three hours a day, it's okay. Absolutely, it's fun.
It depends on the day, actually. You could, and on your position. If you are a lead, you will communicate more than 3 hours a day. If you are a manager, you will communicate even more than 8 hours a day, some days. But for the engineers, it is a bit less. Okay, Alexei, what do you think about Roman's perspective about his personality?
Actually, I already said that it's could be a good start with Mentorpiece, and yeah, I suppose you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sandy, what do you think?
Well, if so, for the communication thing, I think that you can kind of set boundaries around that, so that you can set aside certain hours of the day where you're working and not being interrupted. And then, and you can put that in your email response, that you'll respond between the hours of whatever. And if that's, because I know that that was the issue whenever I was the lead QA, people constantly wanting answers, and I had to, you know, set some boundaries and say, I got to focus for this while, but I'll get back to you on that. Also, I encourage you, I think that you can be a good QA and a good developer because you have the intelligence for it and you have the desire to do it. I encourage you to go in with an open mind, because so every company's different. And just like it's not going to look exactly like you think it's going to look like. And stories that people tell you is from their experience only. And there's a million different varied experiences. So if you can keep an open mind and a lot of patience, then I think that you'll be successful.
Okay, thank you very much, Sandra, Alexei, Lydia. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we can go to Vivian. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I am a fresh graduate. I major in electrical engineering, and I also did courses in software throughout my studies. So the reason why I want to enter software testing is that I had software course in my studies where I had the role as a software tester. And that's when my interest in testing, like I got sparks, I got interest in it, and I want to start my career in it. However, I had difficulty getting an internship for software testing. So I ended up in software development. And after my internship, and I still remain in software development because I went to a couple of interviews for software testing. It seems that it's harder to get in than I thought. So yeah, and because I have more experience in software development, and I hope to understand and know more about software testing, yeah, through today's sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is your final goal? So, are you intending to be a software developer or a tester? So, what is more interesting for you right now? So why are you going to be hired as a QE engineer? So
Yeah, so
yeah.
software development for me was just a turning point. I was hoping that I could learn more about technical stuff, the skills to help me to better like test the software. My eventual goal is actually to be a software tester.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And which kind of development you did?
Sorry?
Which kind of development you did? Which programming language, which part of the application?
My internship, it was in a software development, and I did data engineering, where I built data pipeline to process metadata objects. And right now I'm just writing different kinds of scripts for software. Yeah. I use like bash scripting mostly, yeah. But I
Bash
also
scripting, sorry, bash scripting, some sound problems there. I didn't get.
Bash
yeah,
script.
so
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is Sandy. I'm curious as to how you think QA is going to be different than development.
I think it's in QA, like people should have like a big picture of how the entire software works. But in software development, sometimes we just stay in the very small parts of the team, the projects, and we just focus on one small features, and we just developed. That's how I see it. And I also know that in QA, you guys communicate with people from different departments. Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, so you feel like a QA gets a broader perspective and a broader experience with the whole application instead of just one part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's a very true picture. And again, that also depends on the team that you work on. But for the most part, QAs do have a broader knowledge than some developers. So I think that's a good perspective to have.
Okay, so and now you do the bash scripting, and you want to have a broader picture, and you are most interested in that broader picture of the software. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And which steps you do to become a quality engineer?
Because right now I just started out in software development at like full positions. So right now I'm just like self-learning different kind of testing and stuff. And I'm still learning different tools and hoping that in the future, like I could understand it better for the software. But I don't have explicit test plans that I did like Roman to get into QA. So I'm just having a broader view now before I set a plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, probably you have some specific questions to us you would like to clarify.
Right now, actually, no. Yeah, I think what Roman said helps me as well. Yeah.
Okay, so we told everything to Roman. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So am I right that you interested in some math or physics at school? Yes.
Yeah, actually, that's my strength.
Yeah. Okay, and that's why you choose the software development. Yes. For learning. Okay. So how do you prefer to get the information? It is easier to listen, to read, or to listen to somebody's explanation?
For me, I learn best when I do something. And also getting feedback from from mentor. That helps a lot. Because if I just learn through YouTube's or Udemy, I just feel like it's just one side, and sometimes the things that I understood, it's not the way it is in real life. Yeah.
And is it interesting for you to go deeply to some part of the application to understand the integration between pieces of the application? Is that like exciting thing for you? You love it?
Yeah, it actually is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you usually do if you meet something that you cannot understand?
First, I will just try to look for information online. If I couldn't go any further, I would actually ask someone who know about it. Because like we have sprint, and in software development we have to catch deadline, and so it's more efficient if I ask someone directly. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe one more question for you from my side. Do you prefer to plan everything in advance or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you're a planner, yeah?
Yeah.
And do deadlines help you or hamper?
Yeah, I think having deadlines can give me like a sense of achievement. Like I know I have to achieve this by this time. Yeah.
Okay. And what about that thing with communication? Because we discussed a lot with Roman, that communication thing. What about you? Do you love to talk to people?
Yeah,
discuss?
actually, it's one of the reasons why I want to go into testing, because I feel like I communicate very little in my job now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. That's great. Maybe Alexei and Sandy have
Yes,
some
I
questions here.
have a question. Imagine you already become a software test engineer. Explain us your imaginary working day, how it looks like, which activities you do, and so on. And we will compare with reality, actually.
I think if I mention it, it will have a lot common with the software development because I never really worked in that software process before for software testing. I think it's first probably like there will be communications with the group, like what we're gonna do and test out, and a lot of communications with client, and also like talk to the software developer, what bugs are there, why is this bug report written and stuff. Sometimes you get appointment with the developer because they do not understand your bugs, and so I think mostly just meetings, and at the end of the day you kind of just create your test plan to understand how to better test the system, or you create like bugs report as well at the end of the day. Yeah, that's how I think the days goes.
Okay, what about testing itself? Is it included?
Sorry?
What about testing? I missed.
Testing?
Yeah, testing activities. Some testing activities, or only meetings and plannings.
What do you mean?
I mean that you create when you create test plan, you have a purpose to go to perform some tests according to this test plan or test design. Correct?
Yeah.
So I guess somewhere in the middle of the day you should do this, maybe.
Yeah. So you have all the communications, maybe then you test in between. And then like at the end of the day, you have some time to process and try to understand the system before you get the right test plan or like produce test cases. And so, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Lilia.
Okay. How? What to ask? How can you work under stress? Is it okay for you to have some pressure from time to time, because this is a part of software testing job as well, actually.
So the question is, how do I work under stress?
Yeah. So
Oh.
is it okay for you, or you are opposite all that thing and you cannot work under pressure?
Actually, I think I work better under pressure.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I can focus more because there's like pressure on me. So it's fine for me. Yeah.
So it should be somebody like a manager who is standing always over your shoulder with a stick.
Yeah? Oh, not like that. Not like that. I mean, like deadlines helps as well. So I always try to finish my assignments before the deadlines. These kind of things. Yeah.
Okay, and what if the deadline changed? The feature on the test changed because the priority are changing every day. This is a real situation from our job.
This is fine.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what to ask more. Maybe my colleagues could help me. Alexis,
Sandy. So I assume you do unit testing on whatever you code, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the QA is kind of the same thing, just on a broader, just take out the development part.
So, okay.
it sounds like you have a good idea of what, and since you have been a developer then and done unit testing, then I think that it's a natural progression for you to go. And I'm just wondering, like, what are you looking for from us? Do you want to know if you're a good fit to be a QA? Do you want to know steps in order to get to be a QA?
Yeah, and I'm actually curious, like, what can I learn to be an QA? Because what I know is just the surface, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the things in depth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that you, from what I hear, like you've got a technical mind and you're doing development already, and you have a good idea of what a QA's job is. I think that you would be a good fit, and I think that Aaliyah may have a better idea of what steps to take to get you to where you want to be. Because I mean, I've been in QA so long, I don't really remember what I had to get there.
Okay, from my point of view, what steps could you perform? Because you, as Sandra said, you have a technical mind, you have some technical education, and you know how to do programming. And maybe now you should look at the application from a more business point of view and from test design point of view, because I think you are very familiar with the technical part of the software testing, like programming, like architecture, like integration, API, but databases. I think everything is okay, and you are very familiar with all that stuff. But probably to transform from a developer to a tester, you should wear a hat of some business person. To get more into customer requirements, to get more about some business things. So you know how to do the applications, but now you should know why are we doing that application? What is the benefit for a customer for this application? What are the ways of making money for the customer? Because almost every application is done for to give our customers a possibility to make more money. And why do we need it? Where that places are? So maybe you could read more about firstly the test design techniques, like specification based or test design technique in particular, and about the customer requirements. So to be the analyst a bit.
Thank you for the tips.
Yes, because QEs are like people who can be programmers, who can be architects, who can be DevOps, and who can be analysts. This is a broad specialization. To probably you should try to learn that things from that point of view.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, hopefully that will help. Sandy, Alexei, what do you think?
Okay, I will be brief, and I think that probably you should look at software analyst work better than QA, in my point of view. Again, it's you are able to see a big picture. You will have a lot of communication. You experience in programming could help to understand different development issues and processes and some internals. So you, in my opinion, it's one of the way to you. I'm not saying that you should not be a quality engineer if you would like to be, But from our pretty short discussion, actually, I see that probably analyst position is more appropriate for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Do you mean system analyst?
Yeah,
Yeah.
system or business analyst. Why not? It depends.
Okay.
Maybe I would agree with Alexa, because yes, system analyst is about the whole vision of the application, and together with that, it is about the communication.
All right, I'll look into it.
But anyway, you could see to this direction, and either you will decide that system analyst is a position for you, or you at least will know about all that stuff, and you could use it to your QA position, because anyway, that system analyst knowledge is very useful for both positions. System analyst herself and QA position.
All right, thank you.
Cindy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that it seems to me like one of the big reasons you want to do QA is because you want a larger umbrella understanding of the business things. And so a business analyst would definitely, they're the ones that work with QA to help them understand exactly what the business needs are and how it's supposed to fit in with the app. So I think both of you, either QA or business analyst, systems analyst, would be a good fit for you. And I don't know if you work at a large company or if they have programs, but I would encourage you to let it be known that you would like to be a business analyst or QA, and see if there are openings in the company that you could do that and get training from them. So that would be your call as to if you feel comfortable doing that, or if that would be a good step to take.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Maybe you have questions to us.
I know that you guys suggest me to do like business analyst, but do you guys think that I still have the quality to do testing?
You can do testing, definitely, because you have the technical background, and if you will get some knowledge that we told about from the business point of view, you definitely could do this work. But maybe the system analyst job is like more will be more interesting maybe for you. So we are talking about the interest now, not about the ability to do some job, because we are absolutely sure that you will be able to do the QA quality assurance job. But this is about your joy.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So maybe somebody has some question right now.
Sorry, can I ask? Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure, please.
I have a question, maybe not directly related to the topic of can I become a QA tester, or can Vivian become a QA tester? It's more about the market. I mean, is it possible now to find a job for a junior QA? Because from what I see, the market is overflown with junior QAs that have basically the same level of knowledge. They all studied the same things. And for every position, on the market, there are like 400 and more people that want to close that position. So is the market overheated, in your opinion?
Alexei, maybe this is for you. What do you think?
I'm not sure actually.
So what about your company? Are you hiring juniors right now?
You know that we have a bit different approach. It's we trying to hire people into internship, and we prepare as much young engineer as we need approximately. Yeah, because we have some planning in advance, and it's very rare situation when we just hire junior engineers. Usually it happens when we are growing in some location, maybe, but not usual for locations where we already have a stable office. We prefer to hire engineers into internship. Of course, it's paid. It's like a position, but not junior, but pre-junior. Yeah. And we have programs for almost all the disciplines in our company, and I mean it's quality engineering, it's development, different types of development, mobile development, and so on. And at the end, after about 6 months of education and practical education, not only theoretical, such interns are transformed to junior engineers and continue working in our company. So such approaches. We are not hiring juniors from market a lot of.
So that was the reason that I asked Alexei to talk about the internship, because I knew it, of course. So this could be a way for juniors, because the market itself is a bit strange right now, because you know, the political situation in the world and everything is changing every day, and some companies, yes, decided not to hire juniors because of the risks. But anyway, there are large enough companies which hire the interns with some defined knowledge, of course, because you cannot enter this internship just from the street, if we can say that. But you should have some knowledge. If we are talking about Alexei's current company, and we worked together for this company years ago, I participated in this internship as well as a mentor. And if we are talking about this particular company, you should know some programming to enter the internship. But this is not the only company in the market, of course, and there are pretty many large companies which hire for the internship, for the manual QA internship, and you could try to enter the market this way, because it is good for companies, because they are not only prepare QEs with some particular knowledge, but they are preparing the QEs for this particular company, with the motivation, with the loyalty to the company, because they are that students are typically very loyal to the company, because they can start working for this company, and it is very good for them. So you could start from this position. It is not so, you know, paid like regular junior, but you will be a junior like in half a year, for example, like in Alexei's company.
And
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Sandra.
that's okay. At GM, they had a huge IT department, and they often hired new college graduates. They didn't necessarily have to have any kind of technical background, and they would train them when they came on site. So there are opportunities to get into the field that way.
Also, you could consider some IT related with your previous occupation, where you have understanding of a business part. It could be a big benefit for employer to get probably junior engineer, but with good knowledge of business processes and business domain.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a chance. Actually, yes, I agree with Alexei. Because, for example, not about you, but for example, if somebody is accountant, for example, or somebody has some experience in working for banks or some other branches, industries, it is very, very valuable for a customer, for
sometimes
for people,
maybe
for
more
business.
people because there are colleagues who can teach you pretty fast to become a software test engineer, but it's harder to understand all these business processes and business area behind the banking, for instance. Yeah, so much more harder.
And if I remember well, you are a gamer, yes, Roman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
so
much.
you can start from game dev because I know that this is very critical for them to hire gamers, not only people who have knowledge in software testing, but experienced gamers, and they interviewing list your favorite games. Okay, for example, I don't know, Heroes of Might and Magic, and please tell me on this level where you should go. So that's why you could try this direction. Of course, you have some. If we can say that you have some business experience in that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your advices. Yeah, I'll definitely look into this internship system. Maybe try to get into the industry that way. And I didn't actually think about it before. Yeah, thanks.
Excuse me, I need to go. My time is over. So if we have something more, so please continue without me. I'm happy to join this X-ray session, and Lilia told me next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so thank you and goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, thanks a lot for participating, Alexei, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay. So maybe you have some more questions about testing, about a career, something.
What's the biggest challenge that you guys face right now in QA?
Sorry, what the biggest what?
The challenges.
The biggest challenges. It is hard to answer the questions because challenges are very depend on the project, on the company. Some little challenges is your everyday life. actually, because even if you are very experienced senior, even if you are in the industry, in the software testing for 20 years, like we are, you can meet something that you don't know. And it could be every day. You should love that stuff. You should love to get new knowledge, to get some new to reach some new things, to have challenge. But what could be not very good project from point of view of requirements, for example, because if this is a new project or not very good process in the project, it could be a situation when you don't have any requirements, any business requirements, and to get the information about how this application should work, you should run around and find someone who knows, and it could be a bit hard to find someone who knows what should be in this feature, what is it about, and how to test it, what is expected here. It could be a challenge, or some other challenge could be like your testing environment is configured not very well, or you don't have any testing environment. It could be if your project is absolutely new. You should start testing, but you have no testing environment, and it is nowhere to test. That challenges, but how to say, that challenges are well-known problem. We are working on it, and experienced people know how to communicate, where to go, what person is the point of contact here, what position is a point of contact here. So challenges like that, maybe. That this is the challenges of communication between people.
Like, do you guys feel undervalued? Because what I've noticed in the company is that software tester or people from the UK QA, they are not as important as those developers. And I was always told by the developers that even the developers can do the testing. There's no need for testing. Sort of thing. And
I doubt it, because do you use Facebook or Instagram or Skype? Yeah. Maybe? So what do you think about the quality of these products?
It's good.
They don't have testers. They fired everybody, and developers are doing testing in that companies. That's why we have such a quality there. And from time to time, it is not loading, it is not working. Some feature is not working, like the last defect, as far as I remember, that I could not leave the comment from my phone, only from the desktop. So this is the, like, how they can miss this defect, I don't know. This is the feature that is used every day by everybody. They missed the defect.
Right. So, and it also depends on the team, because I've been on teams where, like, and they say it jokingly, but they used to call us the QA vermin. but they really appreciated us because we make them look good. So a lot of developers really like their QA because they make the developers look good, and they're kind of like the backup for them to make sure that they haven't missed anything. And there's some who think that QAs are just like not needed. So it just depends on who you're working with. But from my experience, QAs are absolutely needed.
Yeah. And one more thing, maybe this is funny, I'll tell joke but truth. If the project has no QEs, the developers will be guilty for every defect.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
if there are some QEs on the project, the QEs will be guilty for the defect, not developers. And that's why the developers actually love QEs, because they are just a developer. I'm just a developer. I'm just writing my code. What do you want from me? This is the QE. She is guilty. She missed the defect.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So we are very valuable people, actually, in the project.
I actually hope that like more and more companies can take it more seriously. But what I've noticed here is that like a lot of projects, they want to cut the budget, so they begins to do a lot of outsourcing.
Yes.
And it really deteriorates the product quality, to be honest. And I don't see any improvement. I don't see the companies are willing to invest more and more money in QA. This is why I asked the questions just now. Yeah.
Well, and just as an example, GM had they went through the bankruptcy in 2008, and they had offshored all their IT, and I know of a couple of other places where they offshored their IT, and it did come to light that that's not the most efficient and cost-effective way to do it, because the quality isn't as well as if you do it in-house. So that they did a massive IT conversion where they took everything that they outsourced and put it in-house again. So I see that as a trend where, people are offshored their IT to do it cheaper, and they're figuring out that that's not the best way to do it, and they're bringing it back in-house.
So returning the IT and the testing back to the US from, I don't know, from India, for example.
Right.
Yeah, and pay like 10 or 20 times more to the in-house testers and developers is actually more profitable than outsourcing all that to some spaghetti coders somewhere in the third world countries like mine, for example. Yep.
So I had been working in that company. I'm not a spaghetti coder actually, but I had been working for a long time for some company.
Yeah.
Companies, outsourcing companies, and yes, this is not always good, but from time to time it could be useful.
Well, I need to go. I'm glad that I was able to join for the time that I did. I'm glad I got to meet you two. And I hope you decide to pursue a career in QA, because I think both of you could be successful at that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandy, for participating.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Okay. So if you have more questions, please feel free to ask me. Right now, I'm alone from the mentors team right now from this moment.
Well, I think that's enough, because that's one question I have. It's absolutely specific and it's not related to the topic, I think. So I'll avoid it, to be honest.
Okay, Roman, so feel free to ask me in Mentorpiece Consult. This is a Telegram chat. You could join and ask everything. And for our listeners, for our participators, I would like to underline that we will proceed with such events. And we are planning to do it monthly next year. And if you want to participate in such event, please write under this video or refer to the Mentorpiece consult, yeah, if you want to. Okay. Okay, Vivian, maybe you have some questions, some more questions.
I think I have no question for now.
Okay, so the same, please feel free to ask if you will have some question. Please don't be shy and come to us. We will be glad to answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so think that that's it for today. Thank you very much, Roman. Thank you very much, Vivian. It was very, very interesting to talk to you today, and I hope that we helped you to find your maybe not maybe your way, but find the next steps, how to go. And thank you very much, everybody. See you next time.
Great. Thank you so much. See you.
See you. Have a nice day.